Hey, what's up guys? It's Allison. I go by DJ Toy. I've been living in New York for almost 8 years now. Originally, I'm from San Francisco, so I came to New York when I was 18. I knew I wanted to work in the music industry, and for me, that meant either being in LA or New York. And as a proud Bay Area resident, I did not want to move to LA, so I came here. And I studied at NYU, graduated a few years back, and I've been working since. Right now I'm working at the Fader magazine. I'm doing like marketing and events project management. So it's like a lot of sponsorship, working with like a lot of different artists, a couple different brands. Funny enough, I actually was a very serious classical pianist. I went to piano competitions. I practiced multiple hours a day for a really long time and was originally thinking of being a performance major, but I couldn't see being behind a piano for 8 hours a day, every day, for the rest of my life indefinitely. So I chose a sort of alternate career path. DJing sort of came about when I was a freshman in college. I was really lucky. I honestly see this as like divine intervention of some sort, in that in the dorm that I was staying in, somebody had posted a poster advertising the Scratch DJ Academy, one of the free classes. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'll go check this out. I had always sort of been interested in it, mostly because of the turntablism scene in the Bay Area. You know, it was like the first time I ever saw Asians be cool. And I was like, okay, cool. So that's how you do it. Not really classical piano. Let me try this out. Yeah, I started learning like literally a couple months after I moved out here. And Scratch was like a really, really cool experience for me. It was sort of like, it was like my coming of age experience. I don't know, moving out here with no friends, no family, never having been to New York, it was, you know, it was scary and everything, but I feel like Scratch was a really cool like anchor for me. You know, it was like the first place that I really felt like a sense of belonging in like this massive new city that I was just trying to get used to. And, like I really got to know a lot of the people like in that community. I spent a lot of time at the academy being like the Scratch Rad of 2008, like always practicing no matter what. I probably did that for about a good year and a half before I felt like I was performance ready. Being somebody that was about their craft, like I really needed to make sure that my skills were on point before I was gonna make any sort of moves. Listen, I owe so much to the Scratch Academy. I say that place damn near saved my life, because when I came out to New York originally, I was taking classes, things were cool, whatever, I was in college. And then, you know, my family ran into some pretty considerable financial troubles. And in order to stay in New York, like I needed to work. I needed to do something to support myself outside of the hours that I was spending in school without letting that take away from, you know, my education. And Scratch was really that thing. I mean, it started out as a hobby, but as this all transpired, like, you know, playing out really is what allowed me to stay here in New York. It started slow. I mean, I did like open mics with different other students, instructors, like other people that were in the community. After a while, some of the good folks over at Scratch events started to sort of recognize what I was doing, and they started kicking like some of the in-stores and other like Scratch event stuff my way. And that sort of like helped me assimilate to getting in front of people and playing out and everything. Yeah, it just sort of escalated from there. I found DJing to be like one of the most effective ways for me to make some after hours money as a student, flexible schedule, all that kind of stuff. And so I just kind of went for it, and the rest is really history. I would say I'm super open format. I mean, everybody says that, but I really, really do mean it, because I'm all about the vibe. Like there's a place and a time for everything. I mean, I do a good amount of like corporate and private gigs, but for the most part, I would say that what I enjoy the most is just spinning locally. You know, I live in like the Williamsburg, Bushwick area, so a lot of the times I find myself at spots like Enid's, Kinfolk, Crown Victoria, the Flat sometimes. I'm looking for just bigger looks that are sort of in like the same community that I rock with. You know, right now, my career working at the Fader and being in the music industry is definitely my focus. And I've always looked at DJing as more than a serious hobby. There's a lot to be said about being in that scene and sort of living and breathing it. And I think that really adds a lot to both my DJing abilities as well as what I do on the job. So I would definitely say that music is like a big source of like catharsis for me in a way. just the act of DJing in itself, like, you know, to take it back to the classical music comparison, it's like instant gratification in a way. Like if you mix a track and it just sounds so incredible, the feeling that you get from that is just, I can't compare it to anything. You can really get two songs to speak to each other louder than you might think if you pay attention. I'm DJ Toy and I'm made from scratch.